Assembly Hall on the campus of the University of Illinois. The Illinois High School Association welcomes you to the 21st Annual Boys Class AA Basketball Championships. And hello again, everyone. I'm Joe Passion, welcoming you to the 85th year of America's original March Madness. And here in this Elite Eight field, we have not only the defending state champion, the only repeater from last year's Elite Eight, but also one of the 8 teams here for the very first time in the finals. Let's take a look at for you how they will match up in the quarterfinal games, and they pair up today, including the opener, the defending state champion Proviso East Pirates against Collinsville, a game you'll see here in a moment. And then later on this morning, it'll be Westinghouse against East Aurora. Now tonight, for the night brackets, you will see Bradley Bourbonnais against Rockford Boylan, and then Stevenson here for the first time against Peoria Richwoods. And that will be the nightcap beginning at 8 o'clock here tonight from Assembly Hall. Now first off, let's preview for you the teams that will be here. The visitors for this opener of the quarterfinals are the Pirates of Proviso East. Not only are they unbeaten this year under Coach Bill Hitt, but are riding a 54-game winning streak. The Pirates are at the west suburbs of Chicago, and a very interesting place, as we'll see here. Maywood lies directly west of Chicago along the Eisenhower Expressway. Named after Colonel William Nichols' daughter, May, Maywood is home to one of the finest medical centers in the world, Loyola. This hospital has been a pioneer in heart transplants and has an impeccable reputation. Many famous alumni have called Proviso East home. Astronaut Eugene Cernan, NFL Hall of Famer Ray Nitschke, and current NBA star Glenn Doc Rivers are just a few. The road to Champaign for the Pirates came through the difficult York sectional with defeats over St. Ignatius and a big victory over ranked Oak Park, and then knocking off a former 2-time state champion Thornridge in winning the super sectional game. So that's how the Pirates stack up. Now for the visiting K-Hawks of Collinsville, who here will be the home team in this first game. Now, Collinsville is here for the 23rd time in the finals, and they, of course, are out of southwestern Illinois. You'll see them in their purple and white, 23-7, under one of the Young Turk coaches in Bob Boone. Here's what Collinsville, Illinois is all about. Collinsville is about a 20-minute drive east of St. Louis, Missouri, in southwestern Illinois. A sight you may not see anywhere else in the world is a view of the Brooks Ketchup Bottle Water Tower that rises high above Collinsville. History buffs will want to visit the area to see the ancient Cahokia Indian burial grounds. Go K-Hawks is the phrase of the day for this community, whose March Madness accomplishments are legendary in Illinois high school basketball. The road to Champaign for the K-Hawks started out with a difficult win over Granite City, and then knocking off a former 3-time state champion in East St. Louis Lincoln. The big victory, of course, coming at the SIU Arena in the Super Sectional over another state-ranked team in Mount Vernon. So that's how the two teams stack up. To find out more about Collinsville and Proviso East, let's send it over to center court and our announcers for today's game, Kenny McReynolds and Dan Roan.
All right, Joe Passion, thank you very much. And once again, everybody, welcome to Champaign for the AA State High School Basketball Tournament. The first of 4 coming your way in just a minute. Kenny, Proviso East, the defending state champion, 54 victories in a row. Can Collinsville stop the streak? We're going to find out here pretty soon.
Well, Dan, it won't be easy. Let's face it, Proviso East, a very, very good basketball team. They've won 54 straight games, but I was at their practice the other day, and they say they don't receive any respect. And I said, 54 in a row, guys, you have to get a respect. So Proviso East, they're out today to show that, hey, they deserve to be the state's top team.
Last year it was the 3 amigos that led them to the state championship. This year, it may not be quite as balanced. It's a very good team, but the guy in the middle, Jamal Robinson, runs the show.
Well, Jamal Robinson is the man that makes Proviso East go. This young man can do everything, 15 points per ball game, 10 rebounds. He is the main man for Proviso East.
He's not the only one, but he's the big one. Jamal averaging just under 17 points a game. Also a terrific point guard, probably one of the top 2 junior guards in the the Chicago area in Kenny Davis.
Well, Kenny Davis can do so many things. You see the steal coming up right here. He's quick, he's fast, and he's very, very smart, Dan. He can do so many things. Watch Proviso East. Watch the play off the back and the layup. That's something you don't see every day. With this team, they use their head, Dan, and that's a good example.
Coach Bill Hitt has been there, a tremendous success for him at the school. And Bill today, Kenny, will have to figure out how to stop Collinsville ace Richard Keene. That'll be tough.
Well, definitely in a game like this against Collinsville, we have to guard not only Keene, who certainly is going to get his share of our attention, but the two Reynolds boys. They're both quality players averaging in double figures, and Van Dyke is averaging almost at double figures. So if you spend too much time worrying about Keene, I think the other players can hurt you, and we don't want that to happen.
Bill Hitt on Collinsville, and now let's talk some about the K-Hawks, who as a school, Kenny, have been here many, many times over the years, but it's been a long time, since 1978, that they made their last appearance. Richard Keene is the guy to stop.
Well, Richard Keene may be the best player in the state of Illinois. You look at this young man, you will see a lot of Richard Keene, 20 points per contest. He probably would have led the state in scoring, but he missed 11 games with an injury. This young man can play. Watch the jump shot by Richard Keene. That's nothing but net, Dan. This young man will play here on this floor for the University of Illinois. They can do so many things. They pass inside, turnaround jump shot for 2 points. Collinsville is definitely a great basketball team. Look at the pass down low. That's a big time pass, Dan, behind the back, and you come away with 2 points. We really should have an outstanding basketball game today.
That's the kind of action we're looking forward to. Now, Collinsville, of course, has a tough task ahead of itself against the defending state champions. Here's what K-Hawks coach Bob Bone had to say about defending the state champs.
Well, I think number one, you gotta try and control Robinson a little bit. He's such a great player, and Kenny Davis has the ability to score a lot of points, and along with Ray Gay. But I think that it's more of a team thing. We've got to try and shut down their break, make them play a little bit more in the half-court offense, and then play against our half-court offense also. So I don't think it's one or two players, even though we have to limit them. I don't think you can shut those guys down totally. But I think it's more of the way the game is played, and we can't give up the easy baskets and let them get on a big 13-0 run or something like that. I think that's going to be the key.
A nice segue from Coach Bob Bone into our keys of the game for game one of the quarterfinal round. Brought to you by Milk. It does a body good, and by the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin. Kenny?
Well, Dan, I think the game plan is very simple. Proviso East, you must contain Richard Keene. You can't let him get 35 or 40 points. He will get his 20, but hold him to 20. Jamal Robinson, he's the man that has to come through in critical situations. Davis, he leads, but Robinson has to come through in critical situations. Collinsville, they have to take advantage of their pressure defense, get some offense from your defense, and make this an up-tempo basketball game. They want to get up and down the basketball floor today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Proviso East and Collinsville coming up in a moment. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
Sponsors are Country Companies Insurance, bringing you state tournament action for more than 20 years. The Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois, who remind you to drink milk. It does a body good. And Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Welcome back to the Assembly Hall. Kenny McReynolds and Dan Roan. And before game one of the quarterfinals, we're about set for the national anthem from the Assembly Hall in Champaign. Soloist Lauren Lee of Downers Grove South High School, backed by the Pontiac High School Band. And we're about ready for basketball from Champaign this afternoon. Game one of the AA High School Tournament. The PA announcer set for the starting lineups, and he is Steve Adams.
Let's meet the coaches and players for this first quarterfinal round game featuring the Pirates of Proviso High School in Maywood, entering this game with a record of 30-0, and the K-Hawks of Collinsville High School, who have a record of 23-7. First, let's meet the non-starters from Proviso East. Number 5, a 5'8" senior, Terrence Horton. Number 15, a 6'1" senior, Stephen Fisher. Number 25, a 6'1" senior, Corey Chandler. Number 31, a 6'4" junior, Kevin Jones. Number 33, a 6'1" senior, Walter Flowers. Number 43, a 6-foot sophomore, Dante Parker. And number 51, a 6'5" senior, Kenneth Jones. And now let's meet the non-starters from Collinsville. Number 11, a 6'1" junior, Jack McLean. Number 12, a 6'2" senior, Greg Bauer. Number 14, a 5'9" senior, Kevin Kriedemeyer. Number 20, a 6'1" junior, Jeff Steigelman. Number 32, a 6'3" senior, Brian Reeves. Number 34, a 6'1" junior, Joe Muniz. Number 40, a 6'2" sophomore, John Curry. Number 42, a 6'3" senior, Sean Ellis. Number 54, a 6'2" freshman, Doug Davenroy. And number 55, a 6'7" freshman, Corey Garcia. And now, introducing this afternoon's starting lineups. At forward for Proviso East, a 6-foot senior, number 21, Tony Bartholomew. For Collinsville, at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 30, Steve Van Dyke. At the other forward for the Pirates, a 6'2" junior, number 35, Ray Gay. And at the other forward for the K-Hawks, a 6'3" senior, number 52, Chris Reynolds. At center for Proviso East, a 6'5" senior, number 41, Jamal Robinson. At center for Collinsville, a 6'2" senior, number 53, Corey Krumer. At one of the guards for the Pirates is 5'8" senior, number 11, James Jenkins. At guard for Collinsville, a 6' senior, number 22, Tim Reynolds. At the other guard for Proviso East, a 5'10" junior, number 23, Kenny Davis. And at the other guard for Collinsville, a 6'5" senior, number 24, Richard Keene. And now, introducing the coaches first for Proviso East, assistant coaches Lawrence McCall, Dave Holmes, and Andrew Johnson, and the head coach in his 9th season is Bill Hitt. And for Collinsville, the assistant coaches are Dennis Pace, Steve McFall, Mark Parker, and Jim Sika, and the head coach in his 7th season is Bob Bone. Introducing the officials, Tom Abramowitz of Flossmoor.
There you have the starting lineups and the coaches, and we're just minutes away from the opening tip here from Champaign. Welcome back to the Assembly Hall in Champaign. Game 1 set to get underway. Collinsville will be wearing the white uniforms and Proviso East in the traveling blue, and the matchups look like this. Keep an eye on Jamal Robinson, Kenny, for Proviso East, and of course Richard Keene, who, as you said, may be the best player in the state of Illinois for Collinsville.
Well, when he's healthy, he's something else. And you take a look at this. If you go down team comparisons, 3-point field goals, of course, Collinsville free throws, rebounding, of course, Proviso East. So we really should have a pretty even contest.
The undefeated Pirates have the ball first. This is Kenny Davis wheeling along the left side, looking down low, and the shot up and in right away by Ray Gay.
And you know, Dan, that was a beautiful curl by Ray Gay. He curled to the basket, had his hand out, sealed his man off, comes away with an easy 2 points.
And Ray Gay has drawn Richard Keene as his defensive assignment. This is Keene, sealed off, pass inside, taken away. Pirates on the run. Kenny Davis had trouble. May have double dribbled and got away with it.
I thought it looked like a double dribble.
This is James Jenkins, number 11. And Davis will reset. Kenny Davis, a terrific player, major contributor last year on the state championship team. And we get a foul inside on Richard Keene as he tried to knock the inside pass away. So first foul on Keene and first one on the team.
Yeah, Keene got there just a hair too late. When you reach over like that, Dan, 9 out of 10 times the whistle will blow.
Proviso East will toss it in underneath the basket that come way outside to Davis. He'll take the three, and he drained it.
Boy, if you give Kenny Davis just an inch, Dan, he'll take that shot.
A quick 5-zip lead for the defending state champions. Ball thrown away, out of bounds it goes, and turnover again to Proviso East.
Well, everything going Proviso East way the first minute of the ball game. Well, Kenny Davis is so quick, Dan.
Inside it goes. Robinson's first touch of the afternoon. Knocked away and stolen by the K-Hawks. So they force a turnover with their defense, and Collinsville still trying to get on the board with a minute and a half gone in the game. Richard Keene takes the jumper and hit it. Richard Keene's first basket in competition in this building, the first of many, I'm sure. Lou Henson certainly would hope that.
And that was great defense. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better defense. Richard Keene is just a superb basketball player.
Jenkins trying to find Robinson, but he was not there. Davis again. Back iron this one. Battle for the rebound, and Collinsville has it. Keene, change of direction. Lean in shot. And Robinson rips it down for Proviso East. Here's Jamal Robinson, knocked away and out of bounds to Proviso. Keene made the steal but stepped on the line.
Good weak side defense helped by Richard Keene. He came from the weak side, stripped the basketball away, but now you see Robinson, you think he's free. Look at Keene from the weak side, comes in, but he's out of bounds.
Loose again, up and no good. Rebound battled for. Keene's got it in traffic, and who's going to pick it up?
Little round thing, guys.
Finally tied up, the alternate possession arrow pointing in the direction of Collinsville, so the K-Hawks will have it.
Just a little sloppy in that sequence, Dan, but I tell you what, we've just played a couple of minutes in the first game. I expect this game to get a lot better. Not so many turnovers and missed shots once these guys settle down.
On the baseline, Keene lost the handle. And Proviso able to dig it away in the lane. Jenkins without the numbers, now goes to Robinson on the baseline. Strong to the basket. A lot of contact, no whistle. Collinsville ball. Keene's going to the basket here. Had the fadeaway jumper smacked out of bounds by number 35, Ray Gay. So the big defensive stop by Gay, and we're going to get a timeout here in Champaign with 4:59 to go in the first quarter. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. Back in Champaign, we mentioned the three amigos from Proviso State Championship team a year ago. Here's a relative.
Yeah, the relative, Ray Gay, is Sherelle Ford's first cousin. You know, we talk so much about Kenny Davis and Jamal Robinson. Gay may be the best athlete on this Proviso East team. He can do so many things. He has outstanding athletic ability.
34, Joe Muniz into the game now for Collinsville.
Now Proviso going to a zone.
Steve Van Dyke with the basketball. Keep an eye on Keene. He's on the right side as the ball's knocked away. Still loose, and we're going to get a foul called on Proviso. As Van Dyke went for the ball, he was pushed from behind, and I believe Kenny Davis is going to pick it up.
Yeah, Kenny Davis with the little shove. Here's the nice block by Kenny Davis in the passing lane. But see right there, the left hand, that's what the whistle blows for.
Proviso now back straight up man-to-man, and Ray Gay with Richard Keene. Muniz, way outside it goes. Chris Reynolds, second leading scorer in this ball club. Van Dyke hacked again, and Davis picks up a quick second foul.
Well, in state competition, Dan, you have to be aware because the referees will call it a little tighter. Now, here's Kenny Davis right there. Now, see, Davis is saying that he got all ball. But in a state tournament like this, when you reach over, the whistle will blow. So you have to be cautious.
He'll have to take a seat. Corey Chandler, 6'1" senior, replaces him. Way out front it comes to Muniz. And now Keene, good fake. Kept the pivot foot and hit it. Terrific head and shoulders fake by Richard Keene. He has all 4 Collinsville points, and it's 5-4.
And I'm looking at Lou Henson. He's smiling. He should be.
With Davis on the bench, James Jenkins will run the Proviso attack. Tony Bartholome, Ray Gay trying to take it in. Up in the air, that's right. The turnover back to Collinsville, and the K-Hawks will have a chance for the lead here.
Well, Gay was caught in no man's land. He went up, didn't know what to do, so he came back down, and that's a travel.
Man-to-man pressure by Proviso, and Keene's going to try to handle that against Ray Gay. Double high screen this time.
Nice screen.
Shot was altered, and he missed it. Good defense by Proviso, and Jamal Robinson clears it out. Jenkins got the pull-up jumper. James Jenkins on the board.
Nice dribble penetration by James Jenkins. Dan, if no one will stop you, if you're a smart basketball player, you'll just go as far as you can. And that's the good example right there.
Van Dyke, Chris Reynolds. Tim Reynolds is 22. Those two are cousins. And now Keene off the screen. Missed it short. It's on the floor. Here comes Proviso. They shoot it inside to Jamal.
Great position by Jamal Robinson.
First hoop for Jamal Robinson.
He had his man in front of him, and all you need to do is take a step back, and you'll come away with 2 points.
Keene, long three-pointers, an air ball. But Proviso touched it last, and Collinsville will hang on.
Yeah, Collinsville comes away with the break as Corey Chandler just couldn't handle the rebound.
Van Dyke for three. Off the back, and a rebound by Proviso. Good effort inside, good positioning by the Pirates.
Jamal Robinson rebound.
Jamal a little late getting back, and he's out front with it. That's one place where Bill Hitt does not want to see him.
Look at the points in the paint, 6-0. Proviso East taking advantage of Jamal Robinson inside.
I'm not sure Collinsville has taken a shot in the paint yet. Along the baseline is Ray Gay for 2 more. Nice reach back bucket by Ray Gay. He has 4, an 11-4 lead, and a timeout is called. Collinsville coach Bob Bone seated up, Kenny. He wants to get his team back into it.
Well, he has to get his team back into it. Not so much offensively. I think he want to get him in here defensively. Here it is off the hands of Robinson. Look at Ray Gay. And that's beautiful, threading the baseline. He reaches in, and that's Proviso East 8th point inside the paint. Collinsville, they've yet to score a point inside the paint. All their shots have been coming from Richard Keene outside. So I think you have to decide now, Dan, do we want to play zone or do we want to play man-to-man?
Well, neither of these teams is a very big club. They match up pretty well size-wise. Chris Reynolds, who averages 16.7 for Collinsville, has not scored yet. Matter of fact, he hasn't taken a shot, and they're going to have to get him into the game.
Well, they have to get him into the game. You know, you cannot just have Richard Keene taking all the shots. And of course, 3-point competition here in Champaign. We have 4 Class A finalists. We had a chance to see this competition yesterday, Dan. It was really, really a lot of fun.
And the AA, Corey Shelby, Ryan Gear, Quincy Trice, Paul Van Devon of Cary. We'll be bringing you that action this weekend as well. Should be a lot of fun. Also the slam dunk competition. So a lot going on this weekend in the Assembly Hall. There's Van Dyke in the baseline. Keene's posted up down low. This is Reynolds, whose shot is short, and Ray Gay rips it out. Proviso on the run. Down low to Robinson. He's fouled on the reach around by Chris Reynolds.
Well, the game plan for Proviso East the last couple of minutes has been get the ball down low to Jamal Robinson. Here it is again. Robinson gets great position, and he's fouled. And I tell you what, if this young man can keep getting position like that, he'll be at the free throw line all afternoon.
Jenkins rises up. A little too hard. Bartholomew's got the rebound.
See, I don't think you need to take that type of shot when you've been dominating the game down low. This is what you want to do.
Robinson missed an easy one.
But it was a good shot.
Real good shot. This is Tim Reynolds with a basketball for Collins. Having trouble. Boy, Proviso right up in the K-Hawks' faces at every position so far. Here's Keene. Inside shot, Reynolds is another air ball.
Every rebound coming down to Proviso East.
Jamal Robinson from outside missed it.
Look at Ray Gay.
Boy, Ray Gay's having himself quite a game already. On the board, 6 points scoring-wise for him. 13-4, biggest lead of the game for the Pirates. Reynolds turns around, a whistle, and he's fouled by Jamal Robinson as he went up for the shot. So 2 free throws upcoming for Chris Reynolds, who's a pretty good shooter from down there,
well,
77%.
Collinsville, they have to get someone else involved in the basketball game, Dan, besides Richard Keene. We haven't seen a lot of other guys take shots so far, as you see Proviso East on an 8-0 run. We haven't seen a lot of guys get involved in the offense besides Richard Keene.
Number 52, Chris Reynolds. 2 shots.
Muniz sits down. Corey Krumer back into the ball game for Collinsville. Reynolds' free throw is perfect.
Here we see our slam cam from a top.
Loose ball out of bounds. Collinsville. Proviso gets it as Reynolds misses the second free throw.
For every loose ball, every rebound, everything just going the way of Proviso East.
Number 23, Kenny Davis, returns to the lineup.
Collinsville shoots 51% from the field as a team. Right now, they're 2 out of 10.
Now, why do you bring Kenny Davis back with 30 seconds to go and you have a 13-5 lead? He has 2 quick ones.
I'll tell you why, because they're going to hold the ball for a final shot.
Yeah, but okay, now suppose something happens and he picks up 3. You know, if he picks up his 3rd personal, Dan, I mean, anything can happen.
Well, we'll see if he penetrates. If he doesn't dribble it inside against the defense, he'll probably be okay. Here he goes, time running short. Inside pass, Gay, who else? Johnny on the spot for another basket, and that will do it.
Still, that account.
That shot not good, but a great first period for the defending state champions. They lead Collinsville by 10 after 1. One of your network sponsors.
Association, and is being carried throughout the school year by more than 75 radio stations throughout Illinois. Check to see which station near you carries IHSA Sports Report with Art Kimball.
Well, down here on the floor, I had a chance to talk to both coaches about how nervous they might be going into the new arena. We have to remember Collinsville, even though they're showing cold shooting here in the first quarter, they played in a big arena at Carbondale prior to this and in front of a big crowd. Proviso's been here before. After a few minutes of the game, both coaches said they should be able to play the game that they play. It doesn't matter the court or the environment.
Okay, Joe, thank you. Collinsville out in the zone to start the second period. Gay from way outside is short, and the rebound taken out by Reynolds.
Well, that's what Collinsville want. They want to make Proviso East beat him from the outside because the Pirates have been dominant inside the paint.
Collinsville down 10 to start the second. Inside pass, Corey Krumer up and in. The assist to Richard Keene, the basket by Krumer, and it's 15-7.
I think that's a good play, Dan, because now you can get somebody else involved in the basketball game, and now here's your double team. They want him. There's your turnover. Wasn't that backcourt?
Sure was. Ball knocked out of bounds by Proviso anyway, and Collinsville will have it.
But Collinsville, they want to make this an up-tempo basketball game and take advantage of pressure defense. They want to create some offense from their defense.
Keene off the dribble.
Nice crossover.
A little bit left, though, and knocked out of bounds, and a foul called on number 25, Corey Chandler.
And look at Bill Hitt is saying, well, look, what are you doing, Corey? Now watch Corey Chandler, number 25. There's no need for this one because he couldn't block that shot and he couldn't get the rebound. And you're going to put a man on the line now. You put Tim Reynolds on the line.
Davis is checking in.
Had a shot of Bill Hitt there. Bill much more relaxed this year, Kenny, than he was when he came down last year as the prohibitive favorite to win everything. Even though they're 30-0, the Pirates feel they haven't gotten a lot of respect this year because they don't have those 3 big-name players that they had a year ago.
And see, last year they would blow people out by 15 or 20 points. This season, you know, they win by 7, 6, 5 points, and they feel they don't get the respect they deserve as the state's top-ranked team.
He's used that as an incentive for this group to strive to become what that other team was last year. And actually, they've done a terrific job at it. 30-0 coming into this game.
Here's your defense.
Collinsville almost dug it out. Now Proviso has some numbers. The shot from the wing is no good, and a whistle and a foul on Proviso.
Ooh, Ray Gay over the back going for the offensive rebound.
That's 5 team fouls now in Proviso East. First one on Gay.
Now here's the shot by Kenny Davis. It won't go. Now watch Ray Gay right there when he comes down on the back.
Corey Krumer, a nice job of positioning for the rebound there. And Collinsville starting to climb back into this.
And Proviso East now has 5 team fouls.
Keene all the way.
Coast to coast.
Too hard, but the tip is up and in, and Krumer's doing a job here in the second period.
Boy, all of a sudden, Collinsville decided to crank it up a little bit, and we have a basketball game now.
The K-Hawks have scored the first 5 of the second quarter. They trail now by only 5. Shot on the way is short, but a foul called, and Tony Barthélemy is headed for the free throw line.
You know, one thing I've noticed, and I think this would be to the advantage of Collinsville, they're playing with a new basketball. As we get a look at the tip-in right here, Richard Keene, the shot won't go, but look at this. Nobody blocks him out, and that's just an outstanding tip by Corey Krumer. But if you notice, Dan, that's a new basketball, and that actually just slipped out of his hand when he bricked that free throw by Bartholomew. But I think that's to the advantage of Collinsville when you have a pressure defense like this.
Well, Robinson over the top for the board. Barthélemy had it. It's out of bounds to Collinsville. And we want to mention that that foul was called on Richard Keene, and that's number 2 on him. Substitution for Proviso East, number 33, Walter Flowers, 6 foot 1 inch senior. He replaces Barthélemy.
Proviso East has yet to score a point this second quarter.
Keene around the pick. That's a three-pointer. Proviso rebound. Kenny Davis. Gaze posted up down low. Turns around on the baseline, but all white shirts for the board that time. Tough shot. Keene's a bit out of control here. Rebound Krumer slapped out by the big man Robinson.
Great
and here
defense.
comes Proviso again. Sure was.
Great defense by Robinson.
Kenny Davis lean-in shot under pressure, no good.
I'm telling you're going to think I'm nuts, Dan, but these guys don't have control of that basketball, and it's because it's new. When you saw Keene come down out of control, he lost the dribble. A lot of these guys are having trouble with the new basketball, and I want you to watch closely.
Could be a combination of the new basketball and some sweaty palms playing that first game here in Champaign. Shot up on the way and in by Tim Reynolds.
Like I said, Tim Reynolds is in complete control of this new basketball. And he have a traveling violation on James Jenkins.
Bill Hitt trying to settle his club down. Collinsville has scored the first 7 of the second quarter, and they trail now by only 3.
7-0 run in the last 4 minutes for Collinsville.
Down low, but a walk call.
No basket.
Chris Reynolds was on his way, but he shuffled the feet.
Well, I think Chris Reynolds has to slow down now. You know, when you get a 7-0 run like this, you get back into the basketball game. A lot of guys get really excited. Just calm down, play your game.
Proviso beats the token pressure by Collinsville. 5 minutes left in the first half.
The 1-2-2 zone.
Kenny Davis. This is Jenkins. Couldn't get the shot away. Davis, long outside shot, in and out, but the rebound up and good by Walter Flowers. First points of the period for Proviso East. They lead at 17-12.
Well, Bill Hitt's very happy to see Walter Flowers in good rebounding position. They needed that 2 points.
On the baseline, high up and good by Chris Reynolds. That one almost hit the guy wire up above the basket.
I thought it was going to bring rain.
Davis shoots the pass into Robinson. No basket, but he's headed up to the line, and the foul called inside, I believe, on Chris Reynolds.
And the Collinsville fans want to travel. You call it out. Does he travel? Boy, no jump step. No, it's a good call. No travel, but Chris Reynolds with the reach over.
Reynolds has 2 fouls. Van Dyke will leave. And on for Collinsville is number 14, Kevin Kreidemeyer, 5'9" senior. Collinsville will go about 7 deep. Proviso, Kenny, plays 9 players and plays them a lot.
They'll go 9 deep, as you said, Dan. Everybody will contribute for the Proviso East Pirates.
Jamal Robinson makes the first free throw. He's a 55% free throw shooter for the year. Got them both. 19-14, Proviso East leading Collinsville with 4:14 left in the first half. One of your network sponsors, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin. Welcome back to the Assembly Hall in Champaign. As we told you earlier, the Country Company's three-point showdown is underway here this weekend in Champaign as well. Had a pretty big crowd at the hall last night to see the three-point shooters. A bit scaled down from what you might have seen in the NBA All-Star game. They have 4 balls per rack, but some heated competition here as you look at some of the Class A shooters. They're down to 4 in each class, and we'll see the championships later on in the weekend. Right now, Collinsville has the basketball, down 5 points. Inside it goes. Reynolds shot blocked and hauled out by Ray Gay. Gay to Davis. Davis dumped down to Robinson, and he scored.
That's exactly the type of basketball Proviso East wants to play. Get the ball up and down the floor, get it to Robinson down low. He's doing such a great job in the paint.
Kreidermeyer just into the game for Collinsville. This is Keene. Good head fake again. Lean in shot on the baseline is good. 6 points in the game for Keene.
Richard Keene has 6 points. He's not bashful, Dan. He's 3 out of 12 from the field.
He's going to need to step that up. Davis, great fake down on the baseline, and the shot goes for Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones, a 6'4" junior.
That's a really big head fake, as you said. That's big time.
Proviso trying that zone for the first time. Keene, 3.
Well,
he might take care of that zone real fast.
Real fast. You said he needed to step up his shooting. He says, okay, Dan.
First three-point field goal of the game for Collinsville, 23-19. Davis penetrates, knocked away, but a foul called.
But Richard Keene, you talk about three-point shooting contest. If you leave this young man open, Dan, he will bury a three-point shot. That's nothing but net right here. Here's Proviso East on the offense. As you see, Kenny Davis comes in and is hit on the arm by Chris Reynolds.
That foul on Reynolds is number 3.
That's number 3.
Both Reynolds have left the game. Muniz is back in there, and Van Dyke also has returned for Collinsville as the first free throw goes down for Davis. Kenny Davis, 68%er up at that line. Missed the second, and Keene's got the board. 5-point game with just under 2.5 to go.
Zone defense for Proviso East.
Inside it goes. Krumer, nice fake, but Robinson didn't buy it. Now Krumer runs it down in the corner. Van Dyke. Pass inside goes astray. Kreidermeyer, good pass to Krumer, and he laid it in.
Great pass, great lay-in. And I tell you what, you really also have to give a lot of credit. And if you get a turnover, you have to give a lot of credit to Collinsville, Dan, because they know what they want to do. They're attacking that zone, and they're not rushing.
Kenny Davis was looking the other way and had the pass go off his hands and out of bounds. So a 3-point field goal here would tie it up for Collinsville. Van Dyke. Good fake by Kreidermeyer.
You got to get out on Keene.
Off the dribble. A little bit short, and Ray Gay battling for the ball in the corner, comes out there with it. And knocked away from behind by Muniz. Kreidermeyer's going in, and he'll go to the free throw line. Corey Chandler picks up the personal foul, and Collinsville's defense is really changing the complexion of this game.
Here it is again. Now here's the steal. Collinsville defense, as you said, really has changed the complexion of the game. Little contact right there either way, Dan. But Collinsville now will be at the line with a chance to cut the lead to 1 point.
72% free throw shooter. Oh, and he missed the first one short.
Boy, he was way short.
Dante Parker making his first appearance for Proviso East, 6-foot sophomore. Kreidermeyer with one more, and he missed that one.
Boy, that hurts.
Is now in the bonus.
Up court it goes, and we get a travel, no doubt about it. Kevin Jones, in a big hurry to get that ball over to the other side, walked with it.
And, you know, it's easy for me and you to say here sitting down in mid-court, but these young men, they're in the Assembly Hall, big crowd, state tournament. Sometimes they have a tendency to rush. And I'm seeing, you watch Bill hit, he's telling his guys, relax, calm down.
Hey, we have a tendency to rush every now and then. Collinsville's become a little bit more patient, though, I think, Kenny, and Keene hasn't forced anything up there in the last few minutes or so. And Kriedemeyer had a shot and passed it up. He's still open. They're giving him the three-point shot, and he hasn't taken it yet.
See if they get the seam and kick it back out.
Van Dyke had it blown all the way out to our broadcasting position by Jamal Robinson. But we're going to get a foul called against Collinsville, or against Proviso East.
That's the 5th block shot by Proviso East. Here's the missed shot. Now watch. Here's the no head fake just from behind.
Did I say it was Robinson? It was 31, not 41. Kevin Jones. He also picked up the foul, and that put Collinsville into the bonus, but 2 shots on the way here from Van Dyke.
He replaces Jones.
Now with the last name Van Dyke.
Van Dyke goes to the free throw line.
How come his mom didn't name him Dick?
2 shots.
Nah. Who'd want to do that to a kid? Steve Van Dyke. 65% free throw shooting.
I think I would.
Second one hit the rim a couple of times, but wouldn't go in. 24-22 and a steal. Muniz got a hand on that long pass down court. And Proviso's become real sloppy with a basketball.
That's 10 turnovers for Proviso East, Dan, and turnovers may lose this game for Proviso East.
You can hear those Collinsville fans really yelling it up behind us. Richard Keene.
I think you go for a 1 shot, Dan. Take the 1 shot, tie it at the half, or go in 1 point up.
We're down to 15. And that's exactly what Collinsville is going to do. And they've got the right guy with a basketball here in Richard Keene. Around everybody. Forced it up. Shot short, and
just hold it.
Will do it for the first half.
Just hold it.
Flowers dribbles out the final seconds, and we've come to halftime here in Champaign. A low-scoring game. Neither team has really gotten into it offensively yet, and it's anybody's game after the first 16 minutes. 24-22, Proviso East leading Collinsville. As you look at Bob Bone, Proviso East coach Bill Hitt is standing by with Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. The turnovers, Bill, there in the first half, and of course the adjustments that need to be made against that pressure defense. What's in your mind right now?
We did a very poor job making decisions with the ball in the second quarter. First quarter, they played us in a man-to-man, and we handled that pretty well. They came out to an extended zone, and we didn't attack it. And when we did attack it, we didn't get the ball where we wanted to. So we have to go back in the locker room and make some good decisions on where we're going to get the ball and how we're going to get the ball inside.
Okay, Coach, go out and have a great second half.
Thank you.
All right, Bill Hitt, the head coach for the Pirates, and we'll send it back over to center court to Dan and Kenny.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Halftime score 24-22. Proviso East leading Collinsville, and one of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Welcome back to Champaign. Halftime score 24-22. A low-scoring affair here in the Assembly Hall. Proviso East 30-0. The defending state champions leading Collinsville by just 1 bucket. Anybody's basketball game, Kenny McReynolds, after the first 16 minutes here.
Well, it's anybody's basketball game, Dan, and I think you really have to give Collinsville a lot of credit. They were down 15-10 at the end of 1 quarter, but they never gave up. Their pressure defense forced Proviso East into 10 turnovers in the first half. A lot of sloppy play by Proviso East, and I think Coach Bill Hitt put it best when he said his team didn't make good decisions on what to do with the basketball.
That's right. They didn't adjust very well parallel to the defensive change that Collinsville threw at him there in the second period, going from man-to-man to that extended zone, as Bill called it. They put some half-court pressure on them and some full-court pressure, and it paid off in a lot of those turnovers.
But one thing Proviso East, what I think they have to do is get the ball back down low. They were so dominant inside with Ray Gay and Jamal Robinson. Then when that zone came, they started to jack shots up instead of getting good ball movement against the zone and getting the seam and attacking the zone. But you also have to give Collinsville a lot of credit. Richard King, he started off slowly, but a good shooter will continue to shoot, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see more of the same in the second half. And if Richard gets off a little bit, it may become a much closer contest than it already is. We'll see if Collinsville can pull off what might be considered a major upset here down in Champaign this weekend. Right now, we'll take another break and return after these local messages to Champaign.
Back here at Assembly Hall, we are at halftime of our first Class AA quarterfinal game. The defending champs are in the locker room discussing their adjustments with a deuce lead here at the break. Joe Passion back with you, and happy to talk with a good friend of mine and a guy who's always busy here at any of the state tournaments that I've been privileged to coverage. Don Robinson is the Associate Executive Secretary of the Illinois High School Association. And I know, Don, among your many, many chores is handling the officials. And I think a lot of people would wonder, how do these guys get chosen? How do officials at all the other state final events get chosen?
Well, basically, they are people who have been identified by us at the local level through the coaches' recommendation system, and then we trail them through their years and years of experience. And as we get down to the state final, those that have performed well over the years, we think are consistent and would continue to perform well here, then we appoint them here to the tournament.
Well, as I see so often in the many high school state tournament games and finals that I've had the privilege of covering, you don't hear too much from the umps or the refs, and I think that's usually the best sign that they're doing a great job.
Well, I'm confident they like it that way also, and most people believe that if you didn't know the refs were there, they did a good job, and I subscribe to that.
It also is interesting to hear the referees down here. Now, they're all over down here on the side with us down in the end of the court, and they just feel it's such an honor to be here for themselves, like the players and the band and the cheerleaders. This is their award for having a great season.
Well, it's an award and a reward, really. As I said, they have earned their way down here. It's not one of those things where you're tall and good looking and we'd like to have you down there. You know, it's just a matter of they have done the job consistently over the years, and it is certainly a reward for them. And I think that's what most people don't realize, that it is certainly an honor for them to be here also, and we like to make sure they have a good time too.
Now, the Illinois High School Association, as many of you know, have really opened up the gates for more people to become qualified coaches. I understand there's also that same type situation for the high interest now, and more people want to become officials. Don, can you fill us in on that a little more?
Well, we hope so. Over the last 25 years, we have not, well, over the history, the 80-year history of the association, we've not had to worry about officials. The local association has done a great job in training them, and for some reason, we've had a drop-off in the people who are interested in it, and there are a lot of reasons for that, I think. But basically, the association now is embarking upon some programs where we're recruiting officials, and I think with the obligation of training them along with the recruiting, we're going to turn out some pretty good people in a few years. It won't be overnight, I don't think. We're not desperate at this moment, but we see some problems coming. So we're working pretty hard at that right now.
All right, Don, thanks so much. You're doing a great job. So are your guys out here.
Thanks for being here, Joe. Appreciate it.
Don Robinson of the IHSA. And we will be back here at Assembly Hall with more highlights and stats covering the first half after this timeout from our local stations. Our first Class AA quarterfinal game. The defending champs are in the locker room discussing their adjustments with a deuce lead here at the break. Joe Passion back with you, and happy to talk with a good friend of mine and a guy who's always busy here at any of the state tournaments that I've been privileged to coverage. Don Robinson is the Associate Executive Secretary of the Illinois High School Association. And I know, Don, among your many, many chores is handling the officials. And I think a lot of people would wonder, how do these guys get chosen? How do officials at all the other state final events get chosen?
Well, basically, they are people who have been identified by us at the local level through the coaches' recommendation system, and then we trail them through their years and years of experience. And as we get down to the state final, those that have performed well over the years, we think are consistent and would continue to perform well here, then we appoint them here to the tournament.
Well, as I see so often in the many high school state tournament games and finals that I've had the privilege of covering, you don't hear too much from the umps or the refs, and I think that's usually the best sign that they're doing a great job.
Well, I'm confident they like it that way also, and most people believe that if you didn't know the refs were there, they did a good job, and I subscribe to that.
It also is interesting to hear the referees down here. Now, they're all over down here on the side with us down in the end of the court, and they just feel it's such an honor to be here for themselves, like the players and the band and the cheerleaders. This is their award for having a great season.
Well, it's an award and a reward, really. As I said, they have earned their way down here. It's not one of those things where you're tall and good looking and we'd like to have you down there. You know, it's just a matter of they have done the job consistently over the years, and it is certainly a reward for them. And I think that's what most people don't realize, that it is certainly an honor for them to be here also, and we like to make sure they have a good time too.
Now, the Illinois High School Association, as many of you know, have really opened up the gates for more people to become qualified coaches. I understand there's also that same type situation for the high interest now, and more people want to become officials. Don, can you fill us in on that a little more?
Well, we hope so. Over the last 25 years, we have not, well, over the history, the 80-year history of the association, we've not had to worry about officials. The local association has done a great job in training them, and for some reason, we've had a drop-off in the people who are interested in it, and there are a lot of reasons for that, I think. But basically, the association now is embarking upon some programs where we're recruiting officials, and I think with the obligation of training them along with the recruiting, we're going to turn out some pretty good people in a few years. It won't be overnight, I don't think. We're not desperate at this moment, but we see some problems coming. So we're working pretty hard at that right now.
All right, Don, thanks so much. You're doing a great job. So are your guys out here.
Thanks for being here, Joe. Appreciate it.
Don Robinson of the IHSA. And we will be back here at Assembly Hall with more highlights and stats covering the first half after this timeout from our local stations.
Welcome back to Champaign. Dan Roan along with Kenny McReynolds and undefeated Proviso East leading Collinsville by just one basket here at halftime, 24-22. Good first half, Kenny, at least in terms of competition, although not so great in terms of shooting.
Yeah, well, we won't set any records in the first half for shooting, that's for sure. But when you talk about shooting, one man that can really shoot, of course, is Richard King. This young man can do it so well. Look at the nice head fake, the nice jumper from 17 feet, and he gets nothing but net right there. In the first half, Ray Gay has played an outstanding game for Proviso East. Picks up the loose ball on the baseline, leans back in for the layup. Proviso East up at that point, 11-4. Ray Gay on the breakaway. Jamal Robinson with the shot, and it won't go, but look at Gay. Nice rebound follow-up, put it back in. This young man has really, really done an outstanding job. But Collinsville, you can see Richard King with the layup, but it doesn't go, but you get the follow in by Krumer. That's what you want to do, Dan. You want to crash the backboards. And now Walter Flowers, here's a young man off the bench. Nobody blocks him out. He tips it in, and we have a one-point ball game. And Joe Passion has the coach of Collinsville.
All right, thanks very much, Kenny. Bob Bone here. Give us a little summary, Bob, of what went on there in the locker room to keep up this kind of pressure on Proviso.
Well, I think we've got to continue to play defensively. We got to do a better job on the boards, and then I think we've got to be a little bit more patient offensively to get a little bit better shots. We forced some shots early, but, we're right there. We didn't play real well in the first half, but we're right there, so we got a chance.
Only down by deuce. Go get him, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Bob Bone of Collinsville, and we'll send it back over to center court to Kenny and Dan.
All right, Joe, thanks. Now, game stats brought to you by Milk. It does a body good, and by the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin. Kenny, poor shooting, especially by Collinsville, and rebounding edge, as Bob Bone said, definitely to Proviso East.
Yeah, Proviso East leading in rebounds 19-15. Collinsville, you have to shoot better than 33%, Dan. And, of course, turnovers 10 for Proviso East. That's what Collinsville wants to do. They want to make an up-tempo ball game and create a lot of turnovers.
Second half coming your way in a moment. We'll return after these local messages.
As we start the third quarter, it is Collinsville's possession.
Second half just underway. Collinsville misses its first opportunity. Proviso back down with Kenny Davis. 24-22. Proviso East in front. 7.5 to go in the third quarter.
And we get that 1-2-2 zone defense for Collinsville.
This time the Pirates able to solve it. Robinson shot though blocked by Keene. His rebound is no good. It's still loose. Ray Gay horses it up there, no good, and finally Collinsville has it. And we get a foul called on Proviso, and I believe it's Ray Gay, and that would be number 2 on him.
Well, when you have 3 opportunities to come away with 2 points, Dan, you really should capitalize. Proviso East missed 3 easy shots, and you really have to come away with the bucket as Ray Gay picks up his second personal.
First on the team in the second half. Richard Keene with a basketball, shoots it over to Tim Reynolds, and now Chris Reynolds. Keene around that screen for 3. Back iron, but it was right on target. Rebound, Chris Reynolds short. James Jenkins the rebound, and out in front to Kenny Davis.
Oh, what a move.
And a foul called, and if it's on Keene, it's number 3.
Well, let's see it again now. Proviso East running out. Watch the big-time move by Davis. That's a big-time move. Richard Keene with the left hand just hits Kenny Davis. And this would be number 3 on Keene. Nice move. And there's the left hand by Richard Keene on Kenny Davis.
So third quarter scoring starts with a free throw by Kenny Davis. He's now 2 out of 3 up there. Only 1 basket in the game for Kenny. A 3-pointer in the first quarter. He's got 6. And Proviso East by 4. Keene behind the back. Nice dribble. Van Dyke inside.
Charge.
Score it. No, don't score it. Offensive foul called. Wave it off.
It's the toughest call in basketball to make, the offensive charge block call. Here it is again now. Let's see, does he put his shoulder down? He does, and you have to give Jamal Robinson credit. He was there, and he took the charge by Steve Van Dyke. Now, if I'm Proviso East, I find number 24 in white, and I attack him.
Well, that's why they're in the
That's
zone.
why they're in the zone.
So they can't really go right after. And you see Richard not really going to the board very hard either. Bartholomew.
Now, if you see Keene, he just stepped back out of the way of Bartholomew, who gets the layup.
28-22. Proviso now by 6. Keene way outside. Got the 3 and drew the foul.
Oh!
Richard Keene didn't even look at the basket, Kenny. He just threw it up there off the dribble and drew the foul as well.
Here it is again. Now watch Richard Keene, folks. He does not look at the basket. He just stops and pops, and he's hit behind the stripe.
And that's 3 fouls on Ray Gay. So right back at you. Richard Keene with a chance for the 4-point play.
That may be the key, Dan. Don't look at the basket, just shoot it.
I don't know. I never could really make him looking at it or not looking at it. It didn't make much difference.
Well, I know I can't, so 1-2-2 zone.
Bartholomew, Kenny Davis. They'd like to get it inside. Robinson on the other side of the floor right now. Kenny with a spinning jumper that's no good. Up over the top, and the rebound good by Jamal.
Well, Jamal Robinson is only 6'4", Dan, but he plays so much taller than a young man 6'4".
Collinsville needs to balance the floor here. Van Dyke down low. Chris Reynolds, high arching jumpers, good from the baseline. Tough shot by Chris Reynolds.
Tough shot, high arcing. He was falling out of bounds, but he comes away with the 2 points.
Chris Reynolds tried for the steal, couldn't get it. Collinsville foul, and it could be Keene.
4 on Richard Keene.
That is not a very smart foul to make.
Not at all.
I mean, you know your situation in the game. You know what your team expects of you. He just picked up number 3 a couple of minutes ago, and Richard Keene now in serious foul trouble with 4.
Here it is again. Richard Keene comes over to help out on Jamal Robinson, and he just forgot he had 3 personals, and now he picks up number 4.
He'll have to take a seat. It's not the first time he's missed action this year. Broke that wrist. Missed 11 games in which the Canucks went 6-5. With him, they're 17-2.
That shows what kind of player Richard Keene really is.
One of those losses, too, Kenny, was to DeMatha High School of Hyattsville, Maryland, the famous program run by Morgan Wooten out there.
Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of when you lose to DeMatha.
Second shot, no. Collinsville down 3 with their ace on the bench. Friedemeyer. Tim Reynolds. Here's Chris Reynolds, going to have to pick up the offensive slack. Van Dyke hasn't scored yet. In the lane. Good pass down low to Krumer, and he's got it. Steve Van Dyke's penetration made that basket happen, and Corey Krumer has 8 points in the game.
Great penetration as Collinsville, now they go into the full court press, but is broken easily by Proviso East.
31-30. Heading down toward 4 minutes left in period number 3. James Jenkins, pressure all over the ball. Down low it goes. Bartholomew at the bottom of the board, and Tim Reynolds
too low, Dan, too deep.
Collinsville with a chance to take the lead. And even 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Tim Reynolds off the dribble. Chris Reynolds. Van Dyke, Kriedemeyer. They leave him open. He won't take it. Crowd over there right behind Kriedemeyer screaming for him to let it go.
Shoot.
He's a 43% three-point shooter for the year, so he made a few.
Good defense by Proviso East, but you have to give Collinsville credit. They don't have it. They're not going to force it. If they go down to a 1-4 split.
They're also eating up the clock with their star on the bench.
Oh, he walked.
Oh, he sure did, and had a break going, too. Steve Van Dyke shuffled his feet. We'll get a timeout. 3:13 to go in the third quarter. A one-point ball game, 31-30. One of your network sponsors, Radisson Suites. Transportation for the crew provided by Budget Rent-A-Car. Budget Rent-A-Car is right in your neighborhood with over 45 Chicagoland and Central Illinois locations. The smart money is on budget. 1973, Collinsville made the trip, and look at old number 10 right there. Collinsville coach Bob Bone, one of a select group of coaches who also made the state finals as a player, played for the legendary Virgil Fletcher, who we understand is watching down in Collinsville today. Virgil, hope you're feeling great and enjoying the game. It's a good one, 31-30. Undefeated Proviso East, leading Collinsville by a point. Proviso with the basketball. Tony Barthelemy, this is James Jenkins. 33 into the ball game is Walter Flowers for Proviso. Richard Keene still on the bench for Collinsville, riding with those 4 fouls.
And what Collinsville, what they want to do, they want to stay close with Keene on the bench.
Barthelemy with a big basket. They were 3 down, Kenny, when Keene went to the bench. We'll see what they are when he comes back. Right now, it's still a 3-point game.
Oh, nice pass.
Van Dyke tried to whip it over across to Torrey Krumer, who couldn't hang on to the pass. It was there, too.
He was right there. He just couldn't hang on to it. That wasn't a bad pass. Look at the points in the paint, Dan. 28-13, Proviso East.
Barthelemy was pinned. He got out of it. Nice dish on the baseline, but back out it comes from Flowers, and Kenny Davis and Jenkins will reset the offense. 2:10 left in the third. Proviso East, first time they've ever come to Champaign undefeated. And Flowers bangs in there for the rebound. Still can't get it to go down, and now we get a reach-in foul called against Collinsville that will send Jamal Robinson up to the free throw line.
Proviso East just dominating the paint, Dan. I know we've said it time and time again. That was a perfect example of what a great rebounding team and what a great team they are in the paint. They just dominate the Collinsville team in the paint.
Kevin Kriedemeyer picks up the foul. Corey Krumer is out. And 34, Joe Muniz back in the game as Robinson bricks the first one up there. Jamal, 3 out of 5 now for the game. It's about his season's average. Missed the second, rebound up and good, and I think it was Flowers that got it.
Rebound bested by 33, Walter Flowers.
Walter Flowers makes them pay on the offensive glass. 35-30 now, Proviso by 5. Tim Reynolds, back iron. Van Dyke runs it down, bounce pass across the court. Muniz saves it to Kriedemeyer. What a hustle play by Joe Muniz.
Just great hustle by Muniz, great hustle by Collinsville. But now, Dan, they want to come away and run a little clock, stay close until their star can get back into the basketball game.
We're at 1:20 for the third quarter. Tim Reynolds around a pick. Muniz, not a bad shooter. Chris Reynolds. They're just burning some clock here.
Well, you're under a minute now. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold for one shot.
Down by 5. Trouble here and a foul called. Barthelemy actually got himself into a bad position. He reached over the top just as
Kenny Davis was coming across the double team.
They both got a piece of the action, actually, and it's a common foul, third team foul.
Well, you talk about a lot of hustle. Now watch this. All of a sudden, you dive to the basketball floor, and you don't want that ball to go in the backcourt. Whoops! We've got the ball. Save it by a couple of inches.
Van Dyke penetrates, kicks it back to the corner.
See, they're not looking to shoot.
Nope, not at all. Now 45 seconds left.
One shot. Just play a little keep away, play a little catch.
Maybe you call timeout and you get down to about 12 and get Keene back into the game for a final shot. That's what Proviso East coach Bill Hitt did earlier when Kenny Davis was on the bench with foul trouble. They're going to have to put it on the floor. They're going to lose it.
5 seconds.
5-second violation.
Friedemeyer was not aware that he was being guarded as closely as he was. Didn't see the official making the 5 count, and that's why they turned the ball over. He had plenty of people to throw it to.
He had people to turn it to, but you also have to be conscious of the man guarding you in the 5-second situation like that.
Here's Kenny Davis across half court. 10 seconds left for the third. Proviso trying to add to a 5-point lead. Who's going to shoot it? Flowers for 3. Short and out of bounds, and that's the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter. Proviso
So neither team scores in those final 2 minutes. And with 8 to go, it's 35-30. Proviso East in front. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
They come from towns as small as Pinckneyville and as big as Chicago, all filled with hope. Some destined for glory.
We got to get the ball back and score before they...
Yes! They win it! Hard!
They win it!
To all the teams and all the fans, the country's behind you.
Your attention, please, from the principals or their representatives of the 4 competing schools this afternoon. Please report to room 134 between games to pick up your school's reimbursement check. Substitutions into the game, number 24, Richard Key, back over Collinsville.
Right now, the game summary brought to you by the Toyota dealers of Illinois. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Boy, look at this. 35 of Proviso East, 30 points in the paint. Richard Keene, 4 fouls, 13 points. I tell you what, 17 of the 30 points for Collinsville from the perimeter. As Richard Keene is now back in the basketball game.
He got a hand on it. That should be an over and back call. It wasn't.
Well, no, because Keene hit it.
Yeah, but somebody else touched it from Proviso after he. Of course, you need player control to have that happen,
right.
I guess. At any rate, the turnover goes to Collinsville, and Keene has it. Kind of surprised they came out in a man-to-man, Kenny.
I was very surprised they came out in a man-to-man, but Richard Keene would take a shot.
His lean-in shot is off the back of the iron. He's had a tough shooting game today.
See, I thought they would come out in the zone. Now they're back into the zone just to protect Richard Keene.
He's playing the middle there, trying to be a center fielder.
Travel.
Yep. James Jenkins turned it over.
Proviso East.
Well, look at Proviso East, defending AA champs, ranked number 1. They won 54 consecutive games. Look at Collinsville, not ranked in the final poll this season, but the 23rd appearance in the state finals.
This, of course, is the 20th anniversary of that great Thornridge club that won back-to-back tournament titles in 71 and 72. They won 63 games in a row.
Yeah, I was just, about 2 years old, I think.
Sure you were. Here's Van Dyke for 3. Way off, but the rebound by Reynolds. Van Dyke to the hoop. No call, and Robinson has the rebound. Boy. Corey Chandler's banged up after that.
He really is.
Collision.
He's holding his face.
He's okay.
Now he gets the basketball, he's okay. Coming down
right.
court, he's holding his face. He gets the ball. Oh, I'm okay, coach.
Robinson triple team.
Oh, what a move. What a move.
That's about 41.
Jamal Robinson switches hands, goes to the left. 37-30. That lead beginning to stretch out.
get the ball to number 24.
That's for 3, and it's good. Richard Keene's third three-point basket of the afternoon. 37-33. His team back within 4.
I think it's simple. If you're Collinsville, get the ball to number 24. That's simple. See, now Keene has to back up a little bit. He doesn't want to pick up his 5th.
And a traveling call against Ray Gay over in that left corner.
Boy, these traveling violations were driving Coach crazy. That's 13 turnovers for Proviso East.
Richard Keene with a basketball. His team down by 4. Crossover dribble, 3-point try. Good again. Richard Keene has come out smoking. 37-36, and look at that Collinsville crowd.
It's elementary, Dan. Get the ball to number 24 and get out of his way.
Well, you can see Proviso starting to hurry up a little bit, too. Kenny Davis trying to answer is short. Barthelemy rebound is way off. Keene can't foul, and Robinson's got the rebound. Well, Jamal Robinson, a smart play by Jamal to get the position, and a good play by Keene not to come over the top and try to foul him.
You better believe it. That's 10 rebounds also for Jamal Robinson, 5 on the offensive end.
Keene's shot is too hard, but he's going to get his own rebound and bring it way back out to half court.
Okay, now they put Jamal Robinson on Richard Keene, try to get a taller man with a hand in his face.
Interior pass, Reynolds shot just off, no good, and rebound by Proviso. Gay lost the ball. Oh, no.
Oh, he's hurt.
Oh. Ray Gay blew an ankle out as he came in for the layup. Oh, what a tough break for Ray and for his ball coach. Bill Hitt over there to take a look. Tournament physicians also on the scene. Boy, Ray had the breakaway. I thought he was going up for the dunk, Kenny, and all of a sudden his leg just gave way.
You know, I don't know. It looked like he took off on the wrong foot, and he had the clean breakaway. Boy, he's in pain.
Oh, he sure is. Let's take another look at it.
Here we come again. Ray had the clean breakaway. He goes up, and right there is twisted.
Man, he turned it over to the outside. And that's a tough injury to come back from. We'll take a quick break now. One of your network sponsors, the Dairy Farm Families of Illinois and Wisconsin.
This is a gate change announcement.
Ah, the virtues of milk.
Flight 7 is now boarding at gate 65.
What?
Milk helps supply carbohydrate to boost your energy. It's wonderfully slim on calories. Milk has B-complex vitamins for steady nerves.
My bracelet.
And a bit of potassium.
Care for something?
I was having milk.
To help maintain a healthy heartbeat.
This is your captain.
Milk.
We'll be delayed here an hour.
It does a body good.
(39-36), Proviso leading Collinsville, but the attention right now focused on Proviso East junior Ray Gay, who's being taken off the floor after spraining his left ankle. We'll get another look at that. A very graphic depiction of what happened.
Now,
watch the ankle turn over.
He gets ready to take off. Now look at the left ankle right there. You see it twist. He goes up, and boy, that hurts. He won't be back today.
No, that may knock him out for the tournament.
Boy, let's just hope it isn't broken.
See what that does psychologically as Keene pulls up for 3 and left it short. Out of bounds it goes, and Proviso's going to have it. Richard Keene now with 4 3-pointers in this game. The Class AA record for 3-pointers in a game in the state tournament is 6, held by Brandon Cole. Did it twice in the 89 and 90 super sectional games.
Well, Brandon Cole not getting much playing time in college. Boy, but he was a heck of a high school player.
His time will come, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Playing up at DePaul.
Okay, here's that 1-2-2 zone.
Keene out on the top.
Travel.
And another turnover. Boy, Bill Hitt must be beside himself over there on the bench. They just can't handle it. A lot of turnovers and a lot of traveling.
A lot of traveling calls. These guys are getting too excited. 14 turnovers for Proviso East, 10 for Collinsville.
Here's Keene maintaining the dribble. Up for the jump shot and cannot get the roll. Loose ball picked up. Now finally hauled in by Barthelemy. He goes to the floor to get it. And Proviso East will have the ball with that 3-point lead and 3:45 to go in the game.
See, I think now you want to get the ball in the hands of maybe a Kenny Davis so he can get the ball down low to Jamal Robinson.
Barthelemy got it right where you call, Kenny, and Jamal lays it in. Robinson having a big fourth quarter. He's got 3 baskets, and it's 41-36.
That's 15 points and 10 rebounds for Jamal Robinson.
Pretty close to his averages for the year. Chris Reynolds got it in the lane.
Boy, they have the highest shots I've ever seen. These guys are going to bring rain one day with these shots.
Kenny Davis down the lane.
Oh,
Whips a pass over his head. The shot is good. Tony Barthelemy. A great assist by Kenny Davis. 43-38. Keene off the dribble. Good fake, lean in. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Oh, that's a big-time play by Richard Keene, Dan, and I tell you why. He initiates the contact. He makes you foul him. Boy, I tell you, that's just a big-time play. Now, watch this pass. No-look pass to Barthelemy. Nice head fake. Gets 2 guys up in the air. Uses the backboard. Actually, a whistle could have blown. He could have been at the line trying to shoot a 3-point play, but I'm sure Proviso East will take the 2.
Keene at the free throw line, a 78% shooter for the year. Makes his first. He's 2 out of 2 today.
And he's at his average.
And he got the second one. So 21 points now for Richard Keene. And a timeout call. 2:55 to play in the game. 43-40. Proviso East in front of Collinsville. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance.
Regular t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, and caps. So stop by the booths on the East Concourse or the West Main entrance and pick up your souvenirs for yourself and other family members before you leave the assembly hall this afternoon.
Welcome back to Champaign, and again, the Country Company's 3-point showdown being put together this week here in Champaign. Some look at some of the AA action from last night. We're down to the Final 4 in Class A and AA, and we'll tell you all about the winners as the weekend progresses. Right now, we're trying to get a winner in Game 1 of the quarterfinals. Proviso East with a bucket. 2:40 to play in the game. It's a 5-point edge for the Pirates right now, 45-40. Kenny Davis scored there, only his second basket of the game. Back inside, Reynolds missed it. Ball on the floor. Who's going to get it?
Jump.
A jump ball between Jamal Robinson and Corey Krumer. Right now, let's go over to Joe Passion for an update on the condition of Ray Gay, who turned that ankle over.
Just talking with Dr. Kevin Kirby in the trainer's room. It's a 1st or 2nd degree sprain. It may not be serious. They're icing it. They're going to tape the right ankle and bring him back out on the floor so he can watch the rest of the game. And within the next 24 hours, Dan and Kenny, they'll know whether or not Ray's going to be able to play again.
Okay, Joe, thanks. And right now, Kenny Davis headed up to the free throw line, Kenny, and here's how it happened.
Well, Proviso East on the bust out. Kenny Davis, that's just beautiful body control by Kenny Davis. He didn't get the roll, but Proviso East steals the inbounds pass. They fly down court. They do an outstanding job. And Kenny Davis missed the free throw, Dan, and I'll tell you why. He moved when he shot it. You have to stand still shooting free throws. I know it looks really nice falling back, but he did it right that time. You have to be stationary, shoot it, then fall back. If you want to look pretty, you can sit on the bench next to Bill Hitt, I guarantee you. That's what Hitt is saying.
Keene triple team. The ball's loose on the floor. He's got it back and now has to get rid of it. Wild action here on the floor, and Collinsville finally controls with Steve Van Dyke. It's a 2-possession game the way Keene can shoot it. This is from 40.
Oh! Ho, ho!
46-43, and the press is on, and a timeout called by Proviso East. We'll keep it here. Richard King putting on a show in the fourth quarter with 3 3-pointers, and I'll guarantee you that one was at least 35 feet.
That was at least 35 to 40 feet. This young man is showing why he may be the best player in the state. Watch this shot. This is NBA range, babe. Look at this.
NBA range?
This young man, and he doesn't look at the basket. He just dribbles and shoots, and look, nothing but net.
That's one of those shots you put up in your backyard when you're playing horse against one of the neighbor kids.
We're in our one
Here's Bob
offense,
Bone.
1 floor low, and it's yours. And they're going to double it. Yeah, now, if I call 11, then we'll go 11. 39, don't let him get it in. Back to 15.
Richard Bob Bone setting up his defense for Richard Keene and the Collinsville K-Hawks. That missed free throw by Kenny Davis a couple of minutes ago, Kenny McReynolds, may be very important because it did make it a two-possession game, and right now, Collinsville with a turnover or a rebound will have a chance to tie this game. We're inside 2 minutes, 1:54 to go. And it's turned right over to Collinsville. Boy, Bill hit, you know he gave his team instructions on what to do, and they came right out and threw it out of bounds.
That's 16 turnovers for Proviso East.
Right now, quickly to Joe Passion.
Down here with Ray Gay on the bench. Give us a little idea how that left ankle feels, Ray.
It feels a little better than what it was. I think I slipped on a wet spot or something, and my leg just went from under me. And I kind of twisted it. They say it's just a first or second degree sprain, so I'll be all right.
All right, guys, back to you.
Kenny Davis with a huge basket after a strip job on Richard Keene. It's 48-43. Van Dyke in the lane to Krumer, who is hammered inside. He'll go up to the free throw line with 1:28 to go.
Well, Kenny Davis missed that big free throw, boy, but he comes away with a big basket down at the other end, off the steal and then the layup.
That's the 5th team foul on Proviso East. This is a
really foul on Corey Chandler's third, and Corey Krumer at the line, a 60% shooter, and he needs them both here.
Yeah, these are big free throws.
Good looking for him right there. It's his first trip up there this afternoon. Kevin Kriedemeyer to the scorer's table. He'll come in a second. Big free throws right down the well by Corey Krumer. He'll come out. More speed on the floor with Kriedemeyer and more defensive pressure for Collinsville.
Okay, now watch for the good pressure. Man-to-man defense by Collinsville, trying to create a steal.
Davis right by Van Dyke, and a reach-in foul called on Steve Van Dyke. Only 5 seconds off the clock, and they'll send Kenny right back to that free throw stop.
Boy, how often have we seen that a man gets by somebody, and then you reach in out of frustration.
No shot.
No shot, I should say. That's 6 personal fouls. The next one will be the bonus, and there it is right there. Didn't take long. 2 fouls in a total of 7 seconds. Kriedemeyer picks this one up, and they will shoot free throws now, and it will be Corey Chandler. And they'd certainly rather have him up there from the Collinsville standpoint than they would Kenny Davis. Chandler, just a 50% free throw shooter for the year.
So now we're starting to get offensive, defensive substitutions by Collinsville. Free throw shooting, not exactly great today.
Chandler buried a big one right there. His first point in this game. 1:21 to play. His team up by 4, and he could make it 5 if he makes another one. Short and hauled out by Collinsville. They need 2 hoops, though. They're down by 4. Here's Keene. Let it go.
Put a hand in his face.
Van Dyke, the rebound.
Oh, what hustle by Van Dyke.
He's fouled on the shot, and I think Van Dyke will get 2. He will.
Now, see, Dan, that's something you can't teach. A young man just has to have. Here's the shot by Richard King. Nobody puts a hand in his face, but look at Van Dyke. Just great hustle and determination. Gets the ball stripped twice, but just decides that's going to be his basketball. Here it is the first time. Then he loses it again, goes back to the baseline. He's actually being mugged.
Well, he missed the free throw.
Great determination, though.
We'll get one more. Coach Bone told us yesterday that Van Dyke's a complimentary player on this squad. They always play better when he's in a basketball game. He makes 1 of 2. It's 49-46. And there's that platoon going on again. Friedemeyer in there for Krumer.
Right. Friedemeyer's in just for defensive purposes. Use a couple of fouls, maybe get a steal. Here it is. That's
Loose
why he's in the ball game.
Three-pointer could tie. Keene, wide open Van Dyke. No good.
No goaltending.
Where's the goaltend? Proviso's got the basketball.
Boy, oh boy.
We'll need to take another look at that. Collinsville's coaching staff screaming at the officials. They wanted a goaltend, and I'm not at all sure that they shouldn't have gotten it.
Okay, here it is again. Van Dyke. Did he touch it?
You know, you can't tell from that angle.
Let's see if he touches it. This Kenny Davis, he hits the backboard. I don't think he touched it.
Well, slapping the backboard's a goaltending call anyway, so.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
The Pirates may have gotten away with one.
Let's see if we can see it one more time from up top. Van Dyke. Here it is again. Well, he missed the goal, but he hits the backboard and it shakes the goal.
Pressure on. We're coming down, then we're in 11. We're in 11. If we score, then we're calling timeout. 39-15 foul. We get it. We're coming down. We're running 11. We score. We call timeout. If we don't score, we foul immediately. Everybody straight? There's still plenty of time. Let's go. Let's go. Seat up.
Motion. Motion wide when you get down here. Motion wide when you get down. Ready?
That's what's going to happen. There's Richard Keene, 5 3-pointers in the game. 48.7 seconds left to go.
Well, motion offense, that's what Proviso East, that's what they want. They want to spread the floor.
Well, they won't have time to get much motion underway before a foul's called, I don't think.
Oh, man, this is great dribbling by Davis. Look at this.
Can't catch him to foul him.
Oh, Curly Neal would love this.
Inside it goes to Robinson. Shot blocked from behind by Chris Reynolds, but a foul called on Reynolds. His fourth will send Jamal Robinson up to the free throw line with 37 seconds left to go.
Boy, that's a gutsy play by Jamal Robinson. You know why? Because he does not need the points here. I'm sure Bill Hitt would not have been too upset if you kicked that back out and run some clock.
Yeah, they were going to foul somebody anyway. They've got Jamal Robinson up there, a 55% free throw shooter who has missed 3 out of 6 so far today. And he's short on the first. The second one now is a huge free throw that turns it again into a 2-possession game. He got it. Big shot. Collinsville needs 2 baskets now to have a chance to tie or take a lead. 33 seconds. Lean in shot. No good. Reynolds. Keene. Fake shot. No good off the glass.
But it
wouldn't have counted anyway.
Wouldn't have counted.
A 1-and-1 coming up for Richard Keene. 26 seconds left to go.
See, he was fouled before he took the shot. See, they want 3 shots. Collinsville, let's see it again now. The official says he was fouled right here before the shot goes up. Good call.
He makes the first. 22 points in the game for Richard Keene. He'll get one more. You got him. Keene 5 out of 5 from the line, and a substitution for Collinsville. Friedemeyer back in and Clary Krumer out. 2-point game. Boy, a close call right in front of us as Van Dyke and Kenny Davis ran the sideline. Davis almost stepped out of bounds. Instead, they get the foul call.
And that's what Van Dyke is saying, that he was out of bounds. Let's see, is Kenny Davis out of bounds? He was close.
He was real close.
He's pushed out, boy, but it was very, very close. Good camera work.
Down to 23 seconds left. Krumer back, Friedemeyer out. Kenny Davis at the free throw line with a 1-and-1. Kenny 4 out of 6 so far.
He needs both. This is the big one because if he makes this one as a 2-possession ball game for Collinsville.
Well, he got them both. Big free throws by Davis. They need him in a hurry now. Here's Keene looking for a three. Got it! And a timeout called by Collinsville with 16 seconds to play. And right now, a one-point basketball game, which means if Collinsville fouls Proviso, Kenny, and they make the 2 free throws, they're still going to have a chance to come back and tie it with another 3.
No question about it. And at least this time, you had to give a great assist to Corey Krumer with the pick. Just outstanding screen by Corey and an outstanding 3-point shot as we go to the Proviso East huddle.
Y'all see that? Tony, get up. Kenny, you set the screen. Get a good screen on Tony from the right. Kenny, come back to the ball. Listen up. Motion one. Motion one.
Let's go to 3 for him. Okay? If we're down 3, we're going 11. Okay? If we're down 2, we're going 11. Okay? Let's go.
They're talking about situational plays. If they're down 2, right now they're down 1, so you know that means they're going to foul immediately. Proviso East 30-0 this year. The closest call they've had was a 2-point decision over De La Salle in the Glenbard West tournament. And there's the reset for you.
Well, the possession arrow to Proviso East.
And a timeout called by Proviso. They couldn't get the ball in bounds, almost turned it over again.
But smart heads-up play by Proviso East to know that they had 2 timeouts to take. Now they only have 1 timeout remaining. Also, they have to remember they can move. The guy inbounding the basketball can move because they scored at the other end. Collinsville scored. But you know that Collinsville will foul right away to set up a chance to come back down to get a bucket by Richard King. Just a 1-point lead for Proviso East.
Can you pick up the charge back there on Robinson? Okay, don't be afraid to do that.
Richard King,
Get back
Bob Bones Ball Club, now 29 points in the game. He's only 9 of 27 from the floor, but he's 6 of 11 from three-point range, and that, of course, ties the AA record held by Brandon Cole of Bloom.
What a performance, huh?
Terrific shooting in the 4th quarter. Richard Keene 4 out of 4 from the line. He's made 4 3-point field goals in the 4th. 16 seconds left. Proviso East with 90 feet to go. Inbounds it comes to Davis, and an immediate foul by Van Dyke. It'll be the 1-and-1.
And boy, Kenny Davis needs both free throws.
On the year, Kenny Davis, a 68% free throw shooter. He's made 6 out of 8 in this game this afternoon. Friedemeyer is out. Corey Krumer back in for rebounding and offense. And here we go. Missed it. Jamal Robinson.
He doesn't need to shoot it.
Collinsville will have it.
Oh,
10 seconds left.
Oh, what a break. I thought that went off a Collinsville player. It was close. Jamal Robinson did not need to shoot it, Dan. He needed to bring it back out.
Full court pressure. Van Dyke knocked away. And a foul called on Van Dyke with 6 seconds to play.
Tony Bartholomew. What a play. Tony reaches in, knocks it away. Just outstanding. Corey Chandler will be at the line. Here's the inbounds pass. Watch Tony. Just got a little bit of piece of it. Just a little bit of it. And it's picked up by Chandler, who will be at the line now as Van Dyke fouls out.
Bartholomew may have gotten a piece of Van Dyke when he knocked it away, too. At least that's what Steve had thought. He's out of the game.
Just a piece of the basketball to knock it loose. Boy, one thing about Proviso East, they make it exciting. I've seen them play a couple of times this season. They don't blow you away, but they make it exciting.
Here's Chandler. Made it.
Line drive shot, too.
Chandler will get one more, and only 6.5 seconds left. Collinsville will need to get it in the hands of Richard Keene as quickly as they can if they're going to have a chance to tie, if the free throw is made. No good. Proviso, rebound.
Just hold it.
stolen. 1 second. Couldn't get the shot away. It's over. Richard Keene scores 29 points in this AA quarterfinal game, but he never got a chance to take the shot that might have tied it.
Boy, I tell you, it's always exciting with Proviso East, but Walter Flowers with the great offensive rebound off the missed free throw, Dan. Good hustle and determination. Proviso East, if you're Collinsville, you want to get that rebound. You have the inside position.
Right now, let's go down to Joe Passion. He's got Bill Hitt and Jamal Robinson. Joe.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. I guess it doesn't get any closer. In that first game, they've always said, Bill, it's the toughest to get by. This certainly was proof of that.
Yeah, we didn't play extremely well, but Collinsville is so good, and Richard Keene is everything they said he is, and we're just glad that we get to play again tomorrow.
Jamal, of course, late in the game there, went up for the rebound. You wanted to go back up with it. A lot of traffic going on under there. Was that the game plan, to go back up or to pull it back out?
No, I just rushed the shot, and it was a bad time to shoot the ball. I should have brought the ball out, but that's the way it goes.
You get into these close ones, and I see over there trying to keep everybody calm. How about the coaching staff just to get by such a great team like Collinsville?
Well, you know, we're really pleased to do that. Obviously, what an understatement, but in a game like this, you have to keep your composures, and our kids have been really good about doing that all year. Sometimes it looks like they're upset, but we know our kids, and we know when it's just emotion and when it's maybe losing control. So we had pretty good control. They had pretty good control throughout the ball game.
Real briefly, Jamal, being without Ray Gay possibly for the next game, how will that affect you?
Well, we have players off the bench that got to come in and step in and do a good job. But we hope Ray get better and come back with it.
Congratulations, guys. Keep going.
Thank you.
55 in a row for Proviso East. And we'll let you back over to center court to Dan and Ken.
Okay, Joe Passion, thanks very much. There it is, 53-51. And Joe said 55 in a row and 31-0 for this season, and the quest continues for back-to-back championships for Bill Hitt and the Pirates.
Well, I tell you what, it's never easy with Proviso East this season, boy, but they really make it exciting, and we really saw some kind of display by Richard Keene. I'm sure Lou Henson is very, very pleased to see this. Of course, Keene will play for the Illini, but see, Dan, a good team like Proviso East, they find a way to win. Miss a free throw, you get the rebound, you run the clock out, you come away with a 2-point win.
Once again, Richard Keene with 16 points in the fourth quarter, including 4 3-point field goals, 29 for the game, but not enough to win it as Proviso East advances 53-51 over Collinsville in game one here in Champaign. Show the people here in Champaign-Urbana that he will be something to watch when he comes to Illinois next year as a freshman.
I tell you what, this young man put on quite a display, just a little bit too late, boy, but what a display by Richard Keene.
He was the only player in double figures for his ball club, and we'll check some stats later on. Jamal Robinson had 16 points and Kenny Davis 13 for the Winners, who must play on now without their starter, Ray Gay, who played such a big part early in the game, Kenny, with 8 points, and then defensively against Keene early in the game as well.
Right, well, Ray Gay, as we talked about, Dan, may be the best athlete on Proviso East, but now he may not be able to go, so you just have to just go on without Ray Gay. But one advantage for Proviso East, they played the first game today, so now they have 24 hours to get Ray Gay back.
Absolutely. Right now it's time for the player of the game, and I don't think there's much doubt about this. Brought to you by American Airlines and American Eagle. Something special in the air, and of course it is Richard Keene. 6 of 11 3-point field goals in the game, 4 of those in the final quarter. The 6 ties a Class AA record for most in a tournament game. 29 points, 6 rebounds. Unfortunately for him and the K-Hawks, they won't play anymore this year after losing by 2. Here's the shot that really got us going, Kenny.
Well, you talk about something special in the air. He uses the screen and comes away with 2 points. Just a beautiful, beautiful screen set for Richard Keene. This young man, just superb. That's the one that got him into the flow After he made that one in the fourth quarter, 3 more followed. This young man showed that he's really something special. And I think he'll be an outstanding collegiate basketball player if he can shoot like that.
Well, you don't see many people, especially on the high school level, able to shoot off the dribble and on the move like that guy can shoot.
He doesn't look at the basket. He just shoots.
He didn't that one time in the fourth quarter and made a 40-footer later on in the fourth as his team tried to come back, but again, they fall a couple of points short. All right, now let's take a look at the statistics for this first quarterfinal game. Brought to you by Milk. It does a body good, and by the people who produce milk. The dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin. The final stats like this, Proviso East much better of it, Kenny, as far as field goal shooting goes, and that, of course, played a huge part in the game.
Well, that's because most of their shots came from the paint. You know, you get 44% to 34%. Collinsville, most of their shots from the outside. Proviso only took 3 3-pointers. Of course, Collinsville 6 out of 13. Rebound, look at Proviso East, 39 to 27. Kind of a sloppy basketball game. 15 turnovers for Proviso East, 13 for Collinsville.
And again, the final score in game one, 53-51. Upcoming, the second game in the quarterfinal round. We'll get to that one after a moment. We'll return after these local messages.